Hello, sluts and ace spectrum friends.
Yes, hello.
This is the mukbang episode where Rue finishes their Chipotle.
Yeah, we had like a busy morning this morning. We had to go get haircuts, and there's a Chipotle right next to the haircut place. So we like food.
I was out at the beach with the girlies yesterday, and I had a great time. And I'd love to talk about it. Also, I might even put on a different outfit because it looks so fucking great. I did a magical girl transformation last night. I've been like, I'll tell you my secret in a minute while I finish my lipstick. You go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not really. I don't even know where I was going. Things have been moving at the speed of light. You know what I mean? Like if you're just talking about the world at large, or the fascist takeover of the U.S. or whatever it is.
And then their inevitable slow self-defeat from the failure to release the Epstein files, and their like frustration with it, and how everybody's been like, they're like, everybody's talking about it now, and I don't want to get too far into that one because it's a whole fucking can of worms.
I think what I don't understand about the Epstein files is like, we all know he's in them. Mm-hmm. We all know that many powerful people are in them. So
I read one of the Epstein files.
Because I was like, weren't they released at some point?
So what happened was, they got out somehow, I'm not sure, but I think they were leaked. And then somebody remember how back in the day, anybody could take out a Facebook ad on it and just like put whatever they wanted on it before they like realized this could cause problems? What made them realize it could cause problems is when people took out ads about the Epstein files with the free PDF download for people to do it. So a bunch of people got it.
Huh. That's wild. Hey, I learned.
Very shortly after. I mean, that's my conspiracy theory. That's not much of a conspiracy because I know somebody who got that download, and that's how I got it from them, because it wasn't like shared in Canada. It was an America only thing. But I read it, and I don't have the file. But yeah, there's a lot of powerful people on both sides implicated, and I'm not gonna name names. But it's real, and it's gonna come out eventually because people have copies of it, and that's just it is what it is. My friend doesn't have his copy either, but I know there are people who do, and they're gonna eventually just not be willing to let it go on any longer and just say fuck it and put it out, because at this point it has a lot of momentum. So who knows what's gonna happen on it, honestly.
Yeah. It really feels like whiplash, because it's like one time I read one policy, it's like this sweeping change has happened, but it hasn't happened, but it's gonna happen, but a judge blocked it, but it doesn't matter if the judge blocks it because the court's a sham, and like it's just like this ping ponging back and forth, and I'm starting to realize, like, I've said this before, so it's not like I'm starting to realize, like, the U.S. in particular. Like we've also said, like, it's no secret, like, the rise of fascism is happening globally. So it's happening in many different places around the world. But here in the U.S. in particular, like, it's such a large space. It's such a large ground mass to cover. Your culture changes depending on the damn neighborhood. You can go, especially in cities, like, you go 3 blocks one way and you're in a completely different world, and you go 3 blocks another way and you're in a completely different world. And I think that's what makes America cool. You know what I mean? I think that's what makes us kind of cool, like, being a melting pot of different cultures, like the idea of that. But the thing is we don't really celebrate that. We don't put it into practice. So I really think, like, the resistance is essentially the people. It's like, it's I won't give in to, like, I don't care what your law says. I don't care. I'm not going to be ratting out my immigrant neighbors. Like, I don't care what your law says. It's just I don't agree with this. I won't. And sometimes that comes in the form of mass protest, because that's like the most visual way to do it. But it also comes in the form of just not, just not abiding by whatever the fuck that law is. Just
that's phrase for that. It's called non-compliance.
And I think that is really where this fight is going to persist, is just in this continuous non-compliance. And we are all under the gun here, because we do still have to participate in our job. Like, we still have... It's not at the point where we can all just quit our jobs and, have complete anarchy.
That's what
I
I'm
don't know.
ready for.
Yeah.
I am tired of laboring. And yes, play Paris Paloma. Alexa, play Paris Paloma labor. Because it's seriously the soundtrack that is in my head every day. I still have to work 40 plus hours a week just doing the most inane. I don't hate my job. I love my job, honestly. I like the people I work with. I just don't want to labor when why am I laboring? Why? For what?
Right. You know, like why are we spending all this time just paper pushing? Like, why aren't we training the AI to do the jobs so that way we can create music and art and literature and write books and, you know, all that kind of stuff? And we've seen the memes. Like, we circulate the memes amongst ourselves. Like, we're like, I don't say we're all feeling it, but the people within this community, the people within the circles that we're all kind of a part of. And I realize that, like, as much as it is important to try and stay very connected on a nationwide level, on a global level, right? It's also really, 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 really even more important to stay connected on a local level. Like, you really have to reach out to the people that are around you. It's like your online relationships, while they are very real and very fulfilling, they're not always going to be the thing that will help you survive. Because it's like, if you need food now, you know, if I was like, Sophia, you know, someone's breaking into my house, and like Sophia's like super trained in like martial arts and stuff, like she can't help me. Like, she's like, dude, I'm in Canada. What the fuck am I gonna do? You're muted, Sophia. Your mic's not coming through. Yeah, no, it's weird. It just lost all sound.
I slightly pulled it out of the jack itself. I was like, I wouldn't even be doing martial arts if I was there. I'd be like, yeah, give me the Glock, let's go.
Right, exactly. You know,
Exactly.
like, you know, you're like a SWAT team. You're like a one-woman SWAT team of yourself, you know, and
No.
like that wouldn't be help. But that's what I'm trying to like get at, is like, you really do need to form in-person relations with people and relationships. And so I think in a way, like, I always talk about I have my save the world kind of problem, but I think what I'm kind of doing is I'm kind of taking a couple steps backward. I've dropped out of certain groups that I was a part of that weren't really going anywhere or really like adding to my life. And I feel a lot more streamlined and focused right now. I will say I'm kind of siloed into, it's that time of year where it becomes work all day and then pagan pride stuff all night.
And then every weekend is a different event.
Yeah.
And we just don't have time to breathe.
Yeah. But it's like it's a good kind of busy, it's a bad kind of busy. It's very busy. And sometimes it just feels like whiplash back and forth, because it's like I'm doing these cool things. I have this podcast. You know, like I'm living my very queer witchcraft life, and yet.
I was just gonna say, I was like, and that's why we do this podcast, because this is like this is, even though it's work or whatever, it's not work. It's just it's getting a couple of hours to just sit and reflect and talk with our dear friends, and just get to share it with all the fine people out there. Speaking of, do we have anybody in the chat? Yeah,
We do. We have a couple people. We have 4 people here. We have Brian, who is a long time listener, and we have
I feel like
Sage.
they're the original listener. Like, they're like our first time.
Yeah, I really think Brian was probably like the first person who really started to chat with us and stuff. So we got Brian, Sage, and Kai, and one other person lurking in the chat that has not appeared. But Brian was saying,
my fam.
Brian was saying that they're currently working at a local homeless shelter, and it's been a great place to work so far. They're using their food service and healthcare skills, you know, to help out in the shelter. That's a great idea. Do that. You know, kind of like wherever your skills you think would be needed, do that. All of our nonprofits and our volunteer organizations, like every church group, every food bank, everything that is like a garage band effort is going to need more support than ever, because those are actually the things that we're going to rely on going forward, because we're entering a very fucked up time. because government assistance is being slashed like a Fruit Ninja game in an arcade, like none for you and none for you and
That's good.
fuck you.
Real talk. The stage is completely set for a government overthrow. I'm just gonna like grab the mic here real quick if that's okay. The right-wing base is so riled up against their own constituents right now because of the Epstein files and how many of them are actually on these benefits that they've cut. And they're really going to try to do this thing where they're going to... The best quote I heard from Hassan was, what they've done to trans people is exactly what they're going to try to do to people on any of these benefits like SNAP. They're going to demonize you. They're going to call you lazy. They're going to do exactly what they've done to trans people and black people. And like, I'm just like...
Yep.
They get it, and it's going to happen to them. And there's so many people now. There's not even their own base supporting them now. With the Epstein files combined, if that does come out, like it has the potentiality to completely topple the entire government, just with like complete fucking civil unrest.
Well, yeah, because there's a lot of good people, quote unquote, on that list. You know, like there's probably people on that list that we'd be like, whoa, what the fuck? You know, like it's gonna be a bombshell when that list finally does get circulated.
And I'll back onto the labor thing where Rue said that they don't want to work, but I bet you wouldn't call it labor if you were working in your shop, right?
Exactly. No, I would not.
But it is still labor.
Mm-hmm.
You don't tire from labor. What you tire from is working under a slave master. That's exactly what you tire about. Humans are naturally predispositioned to work. I don't toil under anyone anymore because I've gotten to myself in a point where with like film, I'm like basically a free agent. I can do what I want. And if let's say film isn't working out, I just helped a friend basically get a trade job in one day in a modern age where you can't go around with a resume in hand anymore to get jobs. You know, that's been a common frustration. I showed her exactly how you can do it.
It hasn't been that way for a minute.
I showed her exactly how you can do it, and she got a whole bunch of business cards from these guys and got them to take their resumes. I can tell you how right now if you want. It's as simple as this. Large corporations do that because they have so many people, they have to streamline the process and they have to hire somebody to do a website, and it's not tenable or like reasonable to carry thousands of paper objects and like have to sort them. It's like the old school ways of doing office work is very egregiously expensive as compared to having a digital database. That's why almost all of these require you to apply online. But there is a extraneous amount of small contractors who do not have large corporate status. There's less than maybe 10 people that have ever worked for them in their entire, like max company size. Not saying they've only had 10 employees ever, right? Because you rotate people. But they don't get that big. And like they're the people who are out there doing like yard work, they're doing little renovations. Like, you know, when you're driving through a residential area in like the home area and there's like those people out there working on somebody's garden, mowing somebody's lawn, they're like doing all that stuff. Those guys, you can like literally just walk up to them and give them a resume and talk to them and say that you're looking for work, right?
Yeah, small
and my
businesses,
friend thought,
yeah,
and my friend thought she didn't really have a lot to offer and she was really underselling herself. I'm like, stop. You're a farm girl from Alberta, okay? You literally have done like landscaping it from the bare minimum from what you're telling me. Detail to me all the jobs that you've done for your parents in farm labor and stuff. And she did. And I'm like, cool, congratulations. You have like literally years worth of landscaping experience. You have a little bit of construction experience. I'd say you could say about 2 years worth of carpenter's apprentice, because that's not egregious. You're not like lying at all. She's done actually more than 2 years, but she doesn't have 2 years worth of knowledge, so it would sound really weird on a resume. So I just said like put it at 2 years. That way people won't be like, why don't you know more? Because like 2 years is not a lot of carpentry experience, especially if it was like a while back. And then I told her, go out smoking a cigarette and tell them you're from Alberta and you're a farm girl from Alberta looking for work. The first place that she didn't do any of this, she got basically like just ignored completely, right? And I told her to do it like this. Immediately got a business card from the guy and he took her resume, and
you have to put on the persona.
it's not even put on a persona. They all speak a certain language, right? And especially with older generations, they're not super inquisitive all the time, especially in the workplace. So they like to just judge a book by its cover because that's how they roll, right? So if I wanted a construction job, I'm not going to roll up to a job site with a smoke because I don't smoke. I'm going to be legit. I'm going to show up in my work jeans with my work boots on, with my fucking hard hat under my arm, with a resume in hand saying, hey, I'm looking for work. Because that signals, hey, I'm ready to go right now. And if they said, you ready to go right now, I'd even actually have my water bottle with me because I know what I'm doing there is signaling that I could do a shift right there then. And if they ask me to, I know I don't need food for the day for how much I'm not in like calorie deficit and I'm actually very healthy, so I don't need to eat a shit ton. I can just eat when I get home. All I need is a jug of water and I'm good for the whole fucking day, right? If I got starving, I could just Uber Lyft the food to me and like boom, you get like DoorDash while you're at work, right? Fine, your shift for the day pays for it. And suddenly, just like that, if I ever didn't have film work anymore, or if I ever like got tired of it and wanted something more consistent, or just did that in my off time, I could just straight up go and use that language and body language and shit. And like I told her, like, don't be holding your arms behind your back because she was like standing like this, like trying to be all proper. And I'm like, nah, like actually kind of be a little bit like balls out, relaxed, project a little bit more with your voice, be literally smoking a fucking cigarette. No, it's not. I mean, confidence one thing, right? But like doing the language of the people that you're applying for is a big thing. Like let's say we were applying to a small office that's not a large contract one, right? You do the same thing. You dress in office attire, you come very polite with your correct tone, you come with your customer service voice on, right? It's essentially how it works. You have to speak the language, and then you can kind of like dive into it. But like where I was going with all of that is like we don't tire of labor, we tire of slavery. A lot of us would still gladly be doing a lot of jobs if we didn't have a system which was exploiting us. I know a ton of contractors and construction workers who couldn't think of doing anything else because they fucking love their job. They absolutely love building stuff. It feels like spiritually fulfilling to some of them. It feels like physically fulfilling. It feels like gender role fulfilling because like a lot of guys really feel like guys because they're like, I'm out here fucking working 8 hours a day. I'm slugging around bricks. I'm building houses. I fucking rule. And it's like, you do rule actually because like labor is fucking hard and it's cool that you're good at it and it's cool that you like it and I respect the hell out of you for it actually. So like that's how society should work, where people actually get to do what they want to do because we have all of our needs basically met and you don't have to fucking work under basically forced march conditions like in the military. Like if they do a forced march and you don't have like the stuff to do it and they like make you do it anyways, that's not really a practice that happens anymore, but it's like an old phrase, right?
It's really the world that I want. It's the world that I always wanted. It's the world that I'm fighting for. It's like
we're all fighting for it.
Yeah, it's if you let people do jobs that they want to do. Like there are people out there that are like, yeah, I could be a barista. That sounds awesome. And it's also this too. It's just like just because someone wants to be a barista doesn't mean that they want to be a barista for the next 40 years of their life. And I think we should also we should have a world that leaves space for that too, Some people
UBI.
Yeah, exactly. Like I am such a huge supporter of UBI and we can have that if as long as we like. And the other thing too is like you can still be rich, you can still be wealthy, you can still like have a corporation and shit. We're just going to tax you fairly, so that way the wealth actually does trickle down. That way it actually does get redistributed to the people. We're not like when we say eat the rich, we're saying eat the rich because you're not given anything. You're not sharing. And so what do you expect people to do if you hoard it all?
Yeah. No, and it fucks everything up. And like that's the thing about UBI is like if we had a basic income that everything was balanced around, we had like rent control and food control for basic necessities, so everybody could actually afford their shit. Everybody would be doing what they want to do, and people who want to slack off can slack off, right? Like real talk, those people are in the minority and they will get fucking bored, and even if they got bored, they would still be spending their money and doing stuff to entertain themselves and be circulating their value currency, and therefore nothing's a net loss. literally nothing's a net loss. Taking care of everybody is never a net loss. It's always a net gain. We've always had a post-scarcity society since the Industrial Revolution, and even before, honestly, but they never want to actually have it be that way, because then that takes away the power of the rich and the elite. And that's why we say eat the rich, because actually I don't even think that they should exist. Because real talk, no matter how long this goes on, they're always going to try and change rules, right? We got them back in 1930, right? And they're like, try us in 2020, bitch, right? They'll wait another 100 years. I am fucking, one thing I've learned that the universe has been really teaching me this past few weeks is that sometimes a mercy is a ruthlessness, because half measures can do more harm than good. Mm-hmm. I am so fucking sick of half measures of let's come out and protest, let's do this, let's do that. Why can't we have a better world? It's very simple, because not enough of us have agreed that we're done being slaves.
That it too, and because there's a lot of people out there that are like, wow, because they think that they can make their billion. Like, they think that they're going to be able to do it, and it's like, no, it doesn't work that way. Not everyone can't have $1 billion. That's not how it works. And it's because it's just like, oh, to survive in this society, you have to have money and wealth and all these resources, and so it becomes this like clusterfuck of this like unattainable goal. And it's like you were saying, it's never a loss if everyone is taken care of. It's never, no one is losing. If anything, everyone is gaining. The elite are gaining. The people at the very bottom are gaining. And eventually you reach a sort of equilibrium. We're at a point, we don't need to be struggling like this, and we also don't need to be destroying our planet at this incredibly rapid rate either. All I can hope is that it seems that politically more people are waking up to, oh, what the fuck did I actually vote for? And it's kind of we were actually talking with some of our kindred members yesterday about this. Is like, I've reached a point with it all where I don't actively seek out, like, to harm these people. Like, no matter how dangerous their rhetoric is or whatever, like, I'm not going to go out of my way and try and harm them, right? Am I going to push back against what they're saying, what they're doing? Yeah, of course. Like, I will be the resistance constantly, but I don't seek to harm you. But that's where the difference lies, is their whole MO is to cause harm and to cause chaos and destruction and everything like that. And so it's like, I'm not trying to say who's right and who's wrong, but like when you like, let's really think about it. Like, the guy who's attacking who here, and
say this: does it do more harm to destroy evil or to tolerate it? Pure and simple.
Right, and then it also goes into, can evil ever truly be destroyed? Like, that's a whole like philosophical discussion in and of itself.
Yes and no. The philosophical concept of evil, no, you're always going to have people committing like violent crimes in the world, even in a post-scarcity society, because the crimes of passion will still exist. Yeah. Can you still change an underlying system that predicates and insulates a predatory class of owners that exploit an entire worldwide slavery system of imperialism and colonialism that is perpetuating genocide and violence and literally murdering kids from fucking Palestine to Congo to South America right now? You fucking name it. If they can worm their tendrils into a village or a community, fuck, we don't even talk about Tibet anymore, right? Like, we like to act like colonialism is entirely just a Western concept, but it is a fucking global elite concept. If you have a rich owner class anywhere, they will try to always fucking expand their reach. They need to not exist as a concept. We need to completely Star Trek our fucking society, because that is the deepest cancer at the core of human existence, is this group of people who think that they're better than other people, that they can cut in line, that they can take these exceptions, that they're somehow better than anybody else by virtue of their birth or whatever makes them think that they're special. Honey, we are all fucking special, but we need to regard each other as fucking equals. Nobody is superior, and if you think you are, then you're acting in a lesser way. That's what I have to fucking say about that.
It's kind of like humanity collectively needs a humbling experience, and
Or
you
having
would
it.
think we would have already been humbled with all of the things we've already experienced.
Well, here's the thing though. Insulation is insulation, right? And as long as people are trapped in the mind, they're trapped in the body too. So you have the American education system getting gutted. You have all of these the way that information has changed, and it's no longer like book distribution, all of these things, and like more small scale. It's all through like large scale networks, social media networks. It's all corporatized. It's all controlled. It's an interconnected web to ensnare the mind so that you can have your thought controlled and directed, right? I watched a really excellent and diabolical video this morning by my favorite non-suicidal YouTuber who's a strong swimmer who doesn't live at high heights nor visit them with any frequency, nor does he do drugs that would make him OD, Flesh Simulator. And he talked about how to run a PSYOP. And he actually did a PSYOP on Twitter and had a guy engage with it to prove his point. And he built a AI model off of all the engagement from this guy. And when the guy got dirty and started like threatening to like sexually assault this dude's girlfriend, he started playing dirty too and went and found the dude's Reddit account and went and took all of his information and put it in this chatbot and created a condensed version of him, and then posted under the account that this guy had already been attacking exact stuff that he would say that was triggering this own guy enough to make him keep fucking attacking it repeatedly. But it was like actually based off of everything that he would say. Insane!
That's what. So this guy created a chatbot based off of this guy, and then basically stuck the chatbot on him to piss him off, and so he's getting pissed off by himself.
I'd say go watch the video.
That's amazing.
How to make a PSYOP, something along those lines, by Flesh Simulator. It just came out like this morning, and it's a little disturbing. Like, I love this guy's content because he doesn't hesitate to like veer into really dark shit to get you to understand how the world actually works and stuff. But
yeah,
that's why we always say, "Oh, look,
actually be."
He's my favorite non-suicidal YouTuber who doesn't live at high heights and is a strong swimmer and doesn't do drugs that would make him overdose." It's like a commonly recurring joke in his comment section. Like, people are always posting that whenever he posts stuff, because like he posts stuff that would directly piss off the government and then like does ways to talk around it so that they can't actually like come down and like kill him. In one of his videos, he literally went so far as to say, "And if you did come and kill me after me doing this video, then it would be a real good indication that this is true, huh?"
Yeah.
So like,
he sets the trap.
Dude pushes fucking boundaries. He's going to get killed eventually, and we all know it, and he knows it, but he's just like the most insane guy ever, and we love him for it, and the world could always use more heroes. That's why I'm a brutally honest person. I have read one of the Epstein files, right? And there is a lot of rich and powerful people in it. The one I will fucking name is that everybody knows is Donald Trump, right?
Oh yeah, he's
and I'll name the other one that everybody.
Two of them.
I'll name the other one, and this one's important, that I wasn't going to name for a very long time because it would have gotten me in a lot of shit. But a lot of bigger YouTubers have actually said this one now recently, so I can just freely admit, yeah, Bill Clinton was in the files too. And that's why the Democrats wouldn't release it, and they have dirt on both sides, and it goes fucking deep. That's why the Epstein files are as big of a fucking upset as it is. And they could actually still potentially kill me just for saying this, and I accept that fate because I would rather align myself against a literal blackmail scheme of predators.
That's not a secret.
No, but like, to say that I've read the file and that he's in there, that could still get you killed. Like, you gotta understand how
Oprah's in there too.
I don't remember seeing her name in the version that I read, but that doesn't mean that she's not in any of them, because I had one file. I did not have the totality of them. I had like a
I saw the complete list. The complete list was uploaded to Reddit.
The complete list as per people say it for secondhand without uploading the documents, and that's a problem, right? Like, I've read the actual scan of one of the black books, like things written in fucking pen, right?
That's what I'm saying. It was a scan of the page. It wasn't just a list on Reddit. Like, it was. Are
those up there though? Because if they were up there, people would save them and have them posted up. Well, that's the thing. I don't know. Find it and post it then, because like, if it is, then it's that simple to just go and put it out there to people who can put it on YouTube, right?
Yeah, because that's why I was so curious about, like, why everyone's talking about the Epstein files, because I feel like
I dare you to go check.
them.
I'll tell you something. The person who sent me it The file's not even in our DMs anymore. Go fucking look for it right now on Reddit, and you won't find it. I guarantee it. Go look.
Do you think it's like been scrubbed, kind of?
Of course, it's been fucking scrubbed. Why wouldn't it have been scrubbed?
I don't know, but it's just one of those weird things. It's like we all know, and yet like they're pretending like we don't all. It's like the gaslighting, I guess, is the problem for me.
Nature of the beast. But yeah, so that has the potentiality to completely rock the entire government down. So yeah, this link. Go and post a link. Post a link.
Yeah, so it looks like it's still
because that's not the version I read.
Couple quick Google searches could probably lead you to something.
But then if it's that easy, why hasn't that been put out by any sources that keep talking about it, right?
I just think it's one of those things
because they're being murdered for putting it out. That's why, like, it's not impossible to find. Like, it's just we all knew that the whole thing with this Epstein thing. Like, I knew that it wouldn't matter because sexual assault of minors. What I'm saying, it does matter, but what I'm saying is sexual assaults of minor is not viewed as a crime in America. It's not viewed as a crime across most religions. Like, it has been this, that's why the Catholic Church gets away with it. That's why, like, it's not, people don't care.
Minors aren't treated as human.
Like, here's the thing, people within those
minors aren't treated as human, exactly.
People don't care within those institutions, but actually the vast majority of public have been shown to absolutely care about this, and this is a fucking dam-bursting issue. And that's why I'm bringing it up so much, right? Because people really do care and are sick of this shit, and they know that it could be their fucking kids that get grabbed and get pulled into this shit too, right? It hits home for anybody who's...
People volunteer their it's not about grabbing children off the street. People volunteer their children. It's an honor. It's a privilege. They do it in order to get jobs. They do it in order to, like...
circles already. But for most people are not. That's what I'm saying. Like, most people are not the wealthy, powerful, rich, and famous, right? That is a very small minority number percent-wise. And the vast
I'm not saying just the... I'm not saying the rich and wealthy. I'm just saying it even occurs amongst, like, blue collar and lower class. Like, it's not just the rich and wealthy. Like,
I think that's a gross misrepresentation, though, because the vast majority of people, like, polling it have really been shown to be against this on both sides unilaterally, right?
People are against it publicly.
Well, obviously they have to be against it. You can't be like, yeah, I'm for pedophilia.
No, I mean, people are really riled up about it and they're not letting it go. It's not just like a simple thing.
So a lot of people are screaming.
They've been pushing for this for years and years and years and years, and we're not letting up, and it's only building more steam, actually. Like, when you say people don't care, that's just factually incorrect, right?
No, what Rue's saying is that what it feels like is it's like, hey, look at how many felony counts does the motherfucker have? You know, like, let's just start there.
Exactly.
And then the Epstein files
isn't even a felony.
Right, and they're like, oh, just to sprinkle some pedophilia on top of there, and, you know, like, no one cares. And it is a feeling of no one cares. Yeah. Also, like, within the elite, they don't care. Like, the government, like, I'm sure there is so many shitty Democrats, you know, over there with all of the money that they get, and, you know, they're all bought and paid for. And then, in addition to, I'm sure they were also on Epstein's fucking bullshit island.
They were, because
just the pictures alone, like,
system. That's how it's involved. But there's several factors, right? Like, there's also child trafficking going on. That's what I'm talking about. And there's also, like I said, I responded to your original point, that most of this, the people who are against it are the vast majority of common people. This is a Watergate level and bigger issue, and people are not letting up on it, and it has only built more steam. It will have massive...
But it's not being talked about. It's not on the news. It's not...
Look, you have to understand, the news doesn't matter. The majority of people right now, the distrust in modern, like, institutional media, so many people know that it's fucking bullshit. The only people who are still listening to it are the people who are never going to get reached. Everybody else is going to podcasts and YouTube and everything else that's talking about it, and it is all that the algorithm is talking about right now.
Well, I'm glad that people are seeking...
I wake up to new updates on it every single day from channels that don't even normally cover it, right? Like Penguin Zero, of all people, Moist Critical, like a Twitch streamer who does YouTube videos occasionally. the guy famed for the whole no. That's not a clip. That's a mag, and he pulls out a rifle and he like shows his rifle, basically saying pull up when that one guy was like threatening him, like the YouTube drama white guy with beard and long hair, but also not like ever really on the wrong side of history from what I've seen yet. He's like not a terrible dude, so like I don't know him that well, but yeah, it's going somewhere and it's pissing a lot of people off and it's having huge backlash. And I'm like seeing photos of Trump getting shared now with him saying "Stop talking about Epstein," all caps and like 6 exclamation
He
marks.
is getting
And it's
very
like
testy.
a collage, yes, and it's a collage of photos behind it, like at least a dozen of him with Epstein, right? And news came out, or like they uncovered stuff too that said at one point Epstein referred to Trump as his best friend, right? So like. It's building. I'm dead ass about this. Like you will see results of this going somewhere. It's not gonna stop.
What I will say for everyone is, I'll try not to get into too many details, but I'm watching a group dissolve in real time, and it's unfortunate.
Which group?
I don't want to say.
Not at liberty to say, but it's just.
I am at liberty to say because I'm really bound by no fucking oaths or whatever. But it's okay. It doesn't matter. The point is, I'm watching a group either fall apart in real time or hopefully, I don't know, transform itself from the ashes kind of feeling, re-evolve itself. And I think what I really want to caution people about is we have to rally together. We're not going to agree about everything, but a lot of our egos and like the cult of personality that sometimes exists within both queer circles and the pagan occult witch sphere, that's going to be the ruin of us all if we keep allowing that to happen. And it almost kind of feels like what I'm watching happening is kind of like what's happening within the MAGA cult, right? Like, because they're ripping at each other, they're tearing each other to shreds over whatever issue they're disagreeing about right now. But what I'm hoping to see is that the people that are actually being persecuted against, which is literally everyone the fuck else except the elite, I really hope we can all come together and agree that we are worth more. We are worth universal basic income. We deserve universal basic income. We deserve rights. We deserve the ability to go to a doctor and the doctor prescribes you a medication and then you go to the pharmacy and you fill the script and you get the medication. There's no insurance company that says, no, you can't have that. No. Like, we deserve a world that works for us. We're out here laboring every fucking day. Some of us do what we love to do, and some of us don't. And I don't know if we'll ever be able to achieve a perfect society where everyone loves their job, right? Because, like I said before, you could be a barista, and 6 months into it, you could be like, wow, I fucking hate this job. Like, what a terrible job for me,
Yeah, you have to freely experiment to even know if you're gonna like something or not.
Exactly. Like, you have to be able to, like, there's nothing wrong with trying out a different career path, a different skill, vocation, whatever. It's just that, especially in the States, you have to stick with your job as long as it has good benefits because you're stuck like wherever you can get health insurance. And that's no way to live. That's just like living under the gun. It's like living under slavery. It's like living under indentured servitude. Whatever name you want to give it, it's still living under oppression. It's living under the gun. And I don't want to see us tear each other apart because then they've won. Like, if we start tearing each other apart, then they've won. So I personally have not heard a lot of chatter within my circles, but maybe that's because we all know the Epstein file. Like, we all know, like that. Like,
speaking of, I found a link. I shared it in the Discord.
There you go.
You put it.
So. Yeah, I guess
put it under articles.
It brings me joy to learn that people are pissed off about the Epstein
Scroll
files
down to see
and
the
everyone
actual
wants to know.
scans.
So, at least we can all agree on that.
Redacted though? No, it's all redacted.
No, scroll down.
I am scrolling through the thing now. Oh, I see. There's certain names that show up like Courtney Love.
I will say, yeah, some of the information is the redacted one. Now that I'm scrolling through it, but it's the screenshots of the Black Book.
I think you knocked your mic cord a little bit, Sophia.
One second. Well, then I'll say this. I'll give you this. You definitely can find the redacted version. So good on finding this, and it's not fully redacted, so it actually has a lot of information on it. I should have been more specific. What I read was unredacted, like it didn't have any black stripes on it. So like, and it didn't have this format. Like it was a different type of pocket book. You know what I mean? Like I said, it was like there was like pen with it.
Like the flight lists.
Yeah, I think it was a flight list. I think that's exactly what I would have read.
But no, that's what I'm saying. The information is still, and that's why I wanted to share. The information is still out there. They can't just say it doesn't exist. Like, no, it's literally there is photo. When I tell you, there's video of Trump and a 13, 14-year-old girl. Like video evidence that they won't obviously release for obvious reasons. But like they released that video, that obviously edited video of Epstein's cell. Like literally they cut a whole minute out of the video exactly when he died. Like, we're not that stupid. We grew up on true crime bullshit.
You paid a guard to kill him.
This shit.
Like, come on, man. You paid off a guard to kill him. Period. End of discussion.
Right there at the very top.
I'm waiting for Ghislaine. I'm waiting.
Oh, she's writing a memoir
words right now.
She's in there like typing, or like like whatever.
Carbon and blood.
She's writing it on the walls. Here is my last will and testament.
It is absolutely disgusting how they're attempting to sweep it under the rug. It is
scumbag.
And also,
exactly.
I want to say this too. Within our own communities, we are not exempt from these horrible things. Pedophilia, trafficking, shitty, awful, terrible things happen even within lower income, marginalized communities. And it is incredibly
That's the lesson to learn from this, is all people are bad. There are no sides, good, bad. Like, well, no, obviously, I'm just generalizing.
Generalizations are always going to be vastly incorrect, though. That's why I really like to get into the minutia with stuff, right? Like, it's more accurate to say that there's people who commit harm and crime from all demographics, right? Because all people are not bad. There's a lot of really good people in the world.
Yeah, the idea was that not the majority of people are bad, but the idea is that like even within these communities, abuse still exists. Like just because you have, like I kind of came into the pagan community with like a little bit of like rose-colored glasses or whatever you want to call it. Like I thought that, child abuse didn't exist in the pagan community. Like, oh, like this is what our religion stands for. Like we're all, we're different from the abuse of the Catholic Church. That's like the area that I came from, right? I was in the Catholic Church for a little tiny bit of my life, but like that's what I was always exposed to. And so when I got into the pagan community, I was like, well, clearly these things don't exist because it's not the Catholic Church, and then there's no reason to perpetuate any abuses. And I have seen time and time again people bully each other. There's fucking people like stuff with kids, and these abuses keep happening. So it's like a sickness of humanity, but it's just when it gets elevated to this scale in the rich and elite, it becomes this like it like takes on this like other dark kind of entity of its, like it becomes something else. It evolves into something like more evil than just, it's like super evil, not just regular evil, So that's the only way I can kind of like, I don't know, explain it even to myself. But like, so evil exists within all of our communities, but I think it's incredible. But my point is when we do see it in our communities, that's where it is the most important to stop it, call it out, root it out, rip out the cancerous part of the community, because it has to be stamped out or else it will fucking spread. And we're seeing that, in real time with many evils. So just kind of my little PSA, because now everyone's all into like, hey, let's get out from behind the computer and let's all go hang out in person, and let's learn how to interact with people again. And I can see some people are having a harder time than others, so let's all just try and come from a place of understanding, I guess.
Yeah, that would be easier.
Hmm.
But it's never super easy. It's always got some degree of difficulty to it.
But what kind of lifted our spirits today is, despite all of this shit that's going on, we had a very uplifting sort of queer experience when we went to get haircuts today.
As I shaved my face, yes,
As
literally
you're shaving your
why I'm
face.
doing that.
Yes. So we just gone into like a chain, just like a Supercuts. And turns out like they're just really cool people there. So like the crew at this particular Supercuts is they're very queer friendly. I walked in not realizing I was wearing a shirt that says "God is trans" on it. Just kind of oops, didn't realize what shirt I was wearing today. And like as soon as I walked in, the one guy was like, "Oh my god, like where did you get your shirt?" And it just spawned into this whole like beautiful conversation. We were talking about Drag Race, and it was just like walking into a space that you didn't realize was super queer friendly, because it's just like a chain, right? So they just have like their usual marketing stuff. Like there's no rainbows anywhere. It's just kind of like, come here, get your hair cut, whatever. But like the people there, it was such a good experience. So it's like this feeling of like, even within your little local chain hair salon, you can find community, like even if it's just that. So yeah.
And having a relationship with your hairstylist is integral. I know my girly is leaving, and I am sad.
Oh no.
Because just as I decide, you know what, the blonde really fits me, I have to keep it going. She's moving to Spain, so I have to find somebody new.
To Spain? Oh my gosh.
It's okay.
Of all places.
And yeah, like that's let's talk about queer vibes. I've noticed been dressing really like a Barbie doll lately.
Yeah, which is a huge shift, because if you're ever curious to look back in time, like you kind of had this sort of like very goth kind of darker aesthetic for a good while.
Yes. And because like honestly, when I transitioned, I always wanted to be like a cute girly girl, but I just never felt like I could, right? It always felt like it was out of reach, and anytime I tried to do it, it never felt right. And I felt like I almost had to like fight in the fucking trenches and like learn how to do like goth makeup, because goth makeup can be more stylized and accepting. And like I didn't feel really comfortable with like light color clothes, because I felt like it clashed with me a lot, because when I don't bleach my hair, my entire color palette shifts, because as tan as I look on this camera, I guarantee you I'm way more tan in person. But because the hair is blonde and we're so used to seeing tan blonde baddies, we don't necessarily like realize how dark a person's skin can necessarily be. So like brown women will often people like, "Oh wow, you're just like a Barbie girl," and then they'll be like, "Yeah, I'm Filipino," or something like that, or like whatever, like mixed Filipino. So like, it can just depend. And people get weird about people having blonde hair and dressing like a Barbie. Like they treat you very differently. Like white cis women all of a sudden are like way fucking nicer to you, almost like, "Oh, I trust you," and like
And
people don't even care that I'm trans, because like they'll just like not even register it. They're like, "Oh, but you're so pretty," it's like they don't even fucking think about it, right? And it's like I bypass people's barriers because I'm being a very genuine version of myself, and it lets me really shine and be happy, and like I'm like a social butterfly now, and before I was like not very confident with that. Like
also very
at the beach,
femme
people would just
presenting too.
yeah.
So it's not like you're
been.
kind of it's not like you're butch presenting in that moment too. Yeah.
But I'm also fucking jacked. Like I'm sure
Right.
you'll see my muscles.
Like you can
throughout the
be. You can be
episode.
like, yeah, I could put my fucking shorts on. Like let's fucking go.
So like,
Life
yeah,
lesson. This is what happens when you shave your brows. Yes, you
it's
can cut
been
your face.
Yeah.
I got my brows threaded and it only cost $6, and I cannot believe I was sleeping on this.
Maybe you should try the threading.
Eh,
Not your
hurts.
thing. Hurts.
And
Too much.
so does cutting
I'd
yourself
rather
shaving.
pluck my own.
I can't handle the stimuli of plucking. If you want to do it, go for it. But just the way that how well she shaped it, like, check that shit out.
That does look
It's
really
perfect.
good. Yeah.
It's fucking perfect. I look amazing. And like I finally have been feeling more confident in my body, and like I realized two things were happening. Okay, I was talking to my friend Dawn about this because I didn't realize I was a hot girl for so long, and I didn't feel like a hot girl. I'd act really icy around a lot of people because they would be like complimenting me and be like, I'd be like, nah, thanks, you know, and be like shy and whatever. And like also I was very standoffish with a lot of guys because I'm like exceptionally bisexual. I love dating guys and hooking up with guys, and I love women so fucking much in every regard. Like I'm
That's
going
the
on a
most
date with a guy after this.
bisexual thing.
I'm going on a date with a guy after this episode who's a hot tattoo artist. Can't wait to see him. And last night, while I was walking up and down the beach, I met this girl who's like cis, but also kind of like gender explorative
Ambiguous.
and like, well, no, not necessarily ambiguous, because like she had a super like pinup style. Like her hair was like blonde with like pink accents, and like she had like a turquoise bra with like leopard print panties, and she looked so fucking good. And like we just got into a conversation and really fucking connected and traded numbers, and like she invited me to a rave that I couldn't find my way to, and I had to like get off Toronto Island before we got trapped, and we literally caught the last ferry off while people were like trying to cut in line. It was fucking chaos, but the whole thing. But it was a great time. It was like a trans day at the beach, and I was like this tan actually before it. It hasn't tanned me up too much. I'm just slowly, gradually adding up because like once I get this tan, I don't really burn. I just like
Like your base layer. Yeah.
I'm
You
just like
kind of. Yeah.
just
You can't tell
just,
because I am pasty white, but there is a slight tan on my body. Actually, I have been outside. I have seen the sun. It is real. I may have gotten a couple more freckles. I'm pretty sure that also happened. But
the freckles. Now I can see it on your arms on the outside, on the shoulders.
yeah, not really
over
here. There's
freckles.
the light coming in, but
No,
yeah.
I can absolutely see it on that side too, though. Like right there on
You can
this
see
part
it.
Oh
here.
yeah, on the top.
That's from when he got super burnt, like 18 years ago. No lie.
Yeah, all the freckles on my
tan.
shoulders are from senior prom weekend at the beach. When I walked around for hours with no sunscreen.
That's what happens when you don't have SPF 100 plus. Like there was a girl at the beach who was worried about that, who has a similar complexion to you, but she's not like ginger. And she's like, you got to use the sunscreen or you'll get melanoma. And she kept saying it. And I'm like, this is SPF like 40. And she's like, yeah. I'm like, that's suntan lotion. That doesn't actually stop. You're burning horribly right now. And she's like, oh no. And she got a horrible sunburn, and like it was like red, and we had to like try and get her out of the sun. It was so comical because she was trying so hard with her OCD
100 or
everybody
bust.
else. It's exactly what I said. I'm like, if you're not doing over 100, you're not actually helping yourself. If you don't have like anything below 100 is for people who have fucking melanin, right?
I'm
like
so
you cannot
glad.
fuck around on that.
I am so happy. I feel so fucking validated right now, okay? Because you said that. Because every time I go to every time I see 100 SPF, I buy it because it's harder to find, and I'm just hoarding it. Like every time I see a bottle, I'm like, I'm just gonna buy a bottle and just like save it. Because it's the only thing that works for me. And what I hate, the reason why I feel so validated is because every time I'm like talking about sunscreen with people, like, oh, anything over 30 SPF is a lie, and I'm like, I disagree with that whole fucking heartedly. Because everyone's telling me, oh, it's just a marketing thing. It's just a marketing thing. I put 100 SPF on. I tubed on a black inner tube down a river with no shade, and I did not burn.
You can physically see the difference when you apply it. SPF 30, it goes on like as a clear coat, right?
Yeah.
SPF
It's
100,
thick.
it's like fucking white. It is like a white
Yeah.
cream that you put on that has to dissolve into your screen because it's got into your skin because it's got things like zinc and other metals and stuff to like block out the sun and shit. Like it's a whole
Exactly.
fucking
We call it
bangle.
liquid shirt.
Liquid shirt.
I mean,
Yeah.
fuck. You know what actually works as a really good sunscreen that not a lot of people actually really know about that well? Dust and dirt.
Yeah.
It's
That's why
uncomfortable.
That's
birds
what
as fuck.
do it.
elephants do.
Oh yeah,
It's
elephants.
uncomfortable as fuck, but if you're in a really hot, sweaty environment and it's not a sandy environment, because sand's not going to block it out and it's going to be very coarse. Also, speaking of which, going to wipe my ass after the beach, I could not believe how much sand was in my crack. I was
Terrible.
shocked. I had to just go take a shower immediately. I'm like, this is not tenable. I can't even wipe it out. There's going to be more with every stroke. It needs to go right
That is
now.
why I can't do day trips to the beach. Like, it has to be like an overnight thing. Like, I have to be able to like shower and like
Wash your ass after the beach is all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was fine because I had dried off and all the other sand everywhere else had fucking caked off. But apparently I was not noticing and I was creating like sandpaper ass cracks. So don't do that to yourself, pals. Unless you need a good natural buffing of your ass crack.
Yeah.
Like you need some butt effleurage or pumice.
Exfoliation.
And actually, it's funny too because like exfoliation, yes, because like I exfoliated the fuck out of my feet on the beach because walking on sand, it's like a massage because it hits in all these pressure points, right? So like you feel really sore afterwards, but it releases a lot of tension, and it also buffs the fuck out of your feet naturally with all the grains of sand, right?
It's really good for your skin.
Like,
yeah.
It is exceptionally good for your skin to walk on in barefoot on sand. And I was talking again to Dawn about this. Our species evolved to do this. We have always existed near natural water sources. We have always been a creature that had to go to drink water. We always had to go to a watering hole or a river, and we've swam in it basically always to sanitize ourselves, right? Like, we are fucking expressly designed to be able to even have what's called the mammalian dive reflex, where you go underwater and your heart rate slows and you actually can conserve your air more. We have physically evolved to be going into the water. We are supposed to be doing it. If you're not doing it, it is not healthy. Humans are actually a semi-aquatic animal. And that's why we get so many benefits of walking along riversides and those types of things barefoot, because even if they're not a richly sanded beach, there's still stones and they will buff your feet as you walk across them, right? And you have to develop like the resistance to it. So in some spots, it'll buff off like heavy calluses, and in other spots, it'll build up calluses until you have like a really even defense on your foot. And that's actually what helped you barefoot in other areas later on too. It's like actually just completely fucking integral to our species to be going to watering holes and to be like drinking and bathing and playing. We've been splashing each other since the dawn of fucking time because we have hands, baby. I can't tell you the instinct to splash somebody who's slowly wading into the water is probably one of the most innate human things that you could possibly fucking feel like doing.
I think so.
Like seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's like something about being in the water with someone. You're like, I just want to splash you in the face.
Are you okay?
Yeah, they nicked their eyebrow.
Oh yeah, I fucking cut my eyebrow shaving.
You look real sad though.
No, it's just the way I'm.
Okay. Just checking in. You know.
But yeah, I agree with you. We gotta get to the pool. We gotta get to the damn pool before it closes.
I agree. I am such an aquatic creature. All I want to do is go to a water park and I just want to sit in a lazy river, and I am so much more graceful in water than I am on land.
Also, real talk, a high amount of I always have trouble saying it. Musculoskeletal issues that you have, like people have, and a lot of fitness issues are tied to the fact that we don't swim as much as we often used to because we're so tied to doing labor in a modern mainstream setting. Where like even people who were like not doing hardcore labor back in the day, like hunting or like gathering in fields and shit, they would go swimming and it would like keep their bodies fit, and it's low tension, so like low pressure, so it like helps. It's one of the best things for physiotherapy. Literally, that's why like every physiotherapy group's like, take y'all to the pool, you know, because it like literally lets you work out all of these muscles that you normally wouldn't because they're busy supporting other stuff. But because of the buoyancy, it allows them to relax in a unique way. So you can like let go of tension and you can like strengthen muscle and release. Like it's just one of the physical best fucking things for humans to be doing is swimming.
I grew up with a pool as a kid. I was very, very fortunate. One, that we had a backyard in Philadelphia, huge, and two, that we had a pool. It wasn't gigantic. It was like 12-foot round, I think. So it was decent size. Like when you were a kid, 12-foot round, like 4.5 feet deep. And I can't tell you, like I was so fit as a kid. Like I was never like skinny. I was never like a skinny kid. I was always like very like stocky and very
Yes, you
thick,
are.
big boned. Huh?
You were skinny.
No, I was
You were
never.
skinny.
No, I was always
I've seen pictures of you in high
in
school. You were
comparison,
skinny.
yes, but I was never considered a string bean. I was never like the string bean kid, is what I'm saying. Like the kid, like the naturally
Sorry, my
bony.
perspective's skewed because I'm fat.
Like that's what I mean. Like the bony. I wasn't like bony or anything like that, but I wasn't an athlete either. So like I was always like kind of somewhere in the middle. But like I was just in really great shape as a kid. Like because I was swimming all the time. Like we'd pretty much be in the pool by 10 o'clock in the morning, and then by 3 o'clock we were out. It was too hot, you know, to keep going. But then I realized that like every time we go to a hotel for any reason, it could be a funeral, a wedding, a convention. We look, is there a pool? Bathing suit gets packed everywhere we go. Doesn't matter because sometimes the website's wrong.
In March? Was it March? Was it February? Was it when did we were in the pool way before we should have been in the pool?
Well, we were at Sacred Space. It was February.
February, yes, yeah. February.
Yeah,
it was wonderful.
Yeah, was it like a nice pool? No, it was kind of.
No. It was old.
Yeah, it was old, but it was a pool.
But I got to swim in Darien. Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, every time I'm in a pool, it always feels really healing, and you are moving your body in ways that you don't really expect. And that's why I think you get so damn hungry.
I need pool therapy so bad, like exactly what you were saying, Sophia. Like with my osteo and my hips and my back and my everything, like literally pool therapy is like the best course of action for me to A, lose weight, to A, get healthier, just everything. Like I would kill to be in pool therapy right now.
And that's why the insurance companies all go, nope.
Nope.
Nope. That's good for you? Nope.
How dare.
You know what's funny about all of that too? A huge amount of adult health issues can be tied to the removal of play in society, right? Yep. Like when you're a kid, you either bike a lot or what is it?
Walk around.
Swim, like we were talking about. You walk around. I mean, I walk around a shit ton. I never stop doing that. In fact, I am so frustrated by Toronto traffic that if it is not a work day, I absolutely 100%, million percent refuse to fucking drive. I will always, 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 always take a fucking, take foot. God damn it. Autoplay is hell. I'm trying to message somebody back and fucking Instagram's just like, bleh. It's like, shut the fuck up.
You're fine.
Yeah, no, like I walk everywhere I can physically fucking go, right? And it's really good for me. And a lot of the time we don't do that because we don't have the time, or we don't have this, or we don't have that, you know, and it's just not physically tenable to walk like 5 or 10K in a day.
That's where I'm at. Like a lot of the activities that I do, my hobbies and interests, you know, like I like video games, I like stuff that involves the computer, so I'm often in a sitting position, which is not healthy, right? All the time to be sedentary, just like moving your body, you know, like putting your body through ridiculously hard labor all the time is also not healthy. So I'm really trying to figure out a balance, you know, like in between that.
So I'll say this. There's a certain type of labor that will build you up in a way that is disgusting, right? And it's a very simple thing that I've been doing recently, and I know other people have been doing, and it's 1.5 to 2.5. You don't need more than that. You can literally just keep that within your ranges unless you want to start pushing, in which case you can work up to 5 hours of just being outside doing some type of activity. One of the best things that you could be doing is yard work, right? You don't necessarily need to be one of those people out there mowing your lawns, because like lawns can be very detrimental. But like, let's say that you have a naturally growing garden, pulling invasive species, or getting fruit off of trees, like picking fruit, or volunteering, because like, for example, certain areas of the city won't get swept up, like municipal areas can often accumulate a lot of trash.
I used to pick
Volunteering and
up
just
trash on
cleaning
our
up trash
block.
on your street, yeah, just like bringing a bag, sweeping it in.
Yeah, I'd be
You
sweaty
would
as
not
fuck
believe.
after I was doing that shit.
Yeah, and it's like 1 to 2 hours a day. If you do that, I cannot, like, that's my secret for how much muscle I've exploded lately. I'm doing something every day almost, unless I like physically need to do a rest day. I'll find an excuse to do something, whether it's walking to a store all the way across the city, which reminds me I have a lot of orders to go pick up from this one store that I just never got because I never got an email from them. I'm gonna go hound them about that today, actually.
Don't you
Um,
love that?
to to a whole bunch of other shit. So I what is it? I just make time, and for me, because I've been doing the 2 hour every day bare minimum thing, it's like I'm starting to get into, like, again, more than 5 or more than 10. It's very rare for me to even have an off day. Like on Sunday today,
So you're
I'm
developing like
gonna
a good
go.
routine.
I'm going for a date, and we're gonna go for a stroll. And then after that, I just realized I do have to get that order from Hobbiesville because they've been sitting on it for a week and haven't emailed me. So I'm gonna call them and walk down there, and that's like 5K there and back. So that
What
right
is
there
it?
is like it's just Magic the Gathering singles for decks that I've
Oh,
been building. I don't know if y'all
back
play
on your
Magic the Gathering.
bullshit.
I actually got okay, so because there's a Final Fantasy set, I got some cards with it. I was really into the Cloud
That's
and the
dragging a lot
Tidus
of people
decks.
back in, yeah.
And then I got a booster box, or two, exactly two, actually. And on the second one, I got an ultra rare pull of a card that I got on the first version that I didn't realize was extremely synchro, and the universe was trying to tell me about. Her name is Terra, Wild Mage, and I got the like holographic alternate art version of her worth $170 US right
Nice.
now, and the price has only climbed. That is like fresh pack crack, which is like the lowest it's ever going to be.
Nice.
Oof. I'm not planning on selling it. I love this card. I have it in like a hard case, and I use it for the commander deck I built for her because she's 5 color technically. Um, but my friend was explaining that she is actually the like pagan expression of the earth goddess, like the earth mother. Her name is Terra, and I'm like, oh shit, of course, Terra, right? That makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. And she's like, yeah, and she's Cernios's wife. And I was like, oh fuck, and like, of course, that's it, like the synchro has been hitting hard, and like you wouldn't believe, like everything since I got that and like before has really been saying, this is something I was going to say earlier in the episode, there's a large goddess power energy right now fucking screaming. There's two
Yeah.
massive synchros that will not fuck off, okay? And it's the queen has returned, mother goddess is here, and she's saying no more of this shit. And
Mm-hmm.
two, the sun god is returning as well, and he is on his way back to meet with her, and they are going to do some shit. That's what's been just like constantly
Like
fucking
that
brewing in the
primal
ether.
divine feminine, primal divine
And the primal
masculine
divine
energy.
masculine coming to
Mm-hmm.
actually like cleanse
I
the slate of all this
felt
corrupt shit.
that so hard last night, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not. Because we're on the tail end of the full moon, so it's just starting to kind of wane. And I was looking up at the moon. It was looking really nice last night. It's just about starting to wane. And what I was thinking about is, like, in certain lores, it really depends on whether the moon is masculine or feminine energy. It really depends on the culture, right? And so within the current tradition that I'm in, the moon is masculine, and the sun is feminine. And but with a lot of the Wiccan sort of things that I grew up with and like I started to explore when I was young, it was generally that the moon was feminine energy and the sun was masculine energy. And I was just kind of like looking at the moon, just kind of feeling the energy of the moon, and I was like, can I discern if the moon is feminine or masculine, right? Like, can I discern what it is for me? And no, like it was this beautiful feeling of like, I am everything, I am all genders, I am the moon, I am a celestial body. You know what I mean? Like it was just this wonderful feeling of like, it doesn't matter. It's however you interact with that celestial body. Like no one can tell you how to interact with celestial bodies in the sky, you know? I mean, they could try to tell you, but your experience is going to be your experience no matter what anyone tells you. So, I don't know, it was just one of my witch moments, I guess, the little philosophical moments that I have. And like when people ask, like, what's it like to, what's having a daily practice like that? Look at the moon, say hi to the sun,
I'll tell you what,
what are
having
your
a daily
plans?
practice
Leave an
looks like.
offering for the land spirits, you
Yeah.
know.
Having a daily practice, it looks like living your life in shadow incorporation. I'm gonna get on this little rant here before the end of the episode because we're over an hour now.
Yeah, we are a little bit over.
Me, I look like a blonde Barbie bimbo now, right? That's actually shadow incorporation because for the longest fucking time,
Which,
I
by the
have
way,
loved
Sophia, Kai did say in the chat that Barbie girl suits you so well.
Thank you. And that's what everybody keeps telling me too. And it's like such a validation, right? I do feel like just a Barbie doll, and I've actually wanted to look like this since I was a kid, but I felt like I couldn't, right? And then slowly testing the waters with bleaching like my bangs, and then eventually liking it. And the whole reason I even tested that was because I wanted to do an Alice in Wonderland cosplay,
Oh yeah,
and I got all
yeah.
the stuff together for it, and it looked great. And then I got the wig and tried it on, and I had like a oh
Oh, one
no,
of those moments.
oh no. Because here's the funny thing.
Yeah.
Prior to that, I thought blonde girls were basic, and I actually was very kind of low key rude to them and shitty. Like I had shadow work to do on it, right? And I was shitty to them because I thought they were basic. I thought you could pick any of the colors in the world, and yet you're
You picked
picking
blonde.
blonde. Why would you do that? Why would you appeal to the patriarchy, right? And then I did it, and I felt so fucking feminine and good and girly, and I suddenly realized, oh fuck, this feels wonderful. I didn't get this with any other hair color, and I keep getting it, right? And I was talking to people at the beach, and they didn't know this was not my natural hair color. I'm like, my natural hair color is like my eyebrows, and they looked at it and they're like, oh shit. I'm like, could you even imagine me not being blonde? And they're like, no, it's you. And I'm like, and it's because I have that energy of being so in myself with it, right? That was shadow in incorporation, in integration. I was giving shade to these girlies because they were actually doing something that I felt like I kind of wanted to be judged, but I would be judged for. And I've been noticing that we do this so much. We hold ourselves back from being who we want to be because we're afraid of being judged by other people. I don't care if you think that I'm a basic girl anymore. I love pop more than anything else. I've been listening to Boy Crazy by Kesha. I have been boy crazy lately because like my bisexual energy is on overflow. I'm like, give me all the ladies and all the men. And I'm like in my fucking goddess moment. And I've stopped holding myself back from liking literally anything if I enjoy it. So like that includes even pop artists I've normally hated because of associations with them, because I think they're like genuinely shitty people in what they do and how they market and appeal. Great example, I think Taylor Swift is a dog shit person. I think the majority of her songs are written to appeal to people in a very specific type of energy and a specific type of state to appeal to like get a specific response. She's absurdly calculating. She's selfish. She takes away the spotlight from other people. She's a billionaire, and no billionaire is ethical. She is absolutely like I've experimented listening to a little of her on Spotify, and they always like just artificially shoot her to the top of my most listened artist when she's a fucking fraction, right? So I loathe her. But that said, giving myself time with it, there's maybe like 20 songs by her that I would actually enjoy. It's about 20, no more than that. I actually went through and broke the odds down with a friend. I couldn't even enjoy half of any of her albums ever. There's no album that hits more than 50% songs where I'm like, this is stomachable, right? But there's a small percent of her shit where I'm like, okay, that's a good song. And it's typically ones that are like not super popular, right? But like, am I gonna go put on a fucking Taylor Swift playlist? No, because I'm still typically embarrassed to associate myself with the Swiftie culture. Because I'm not a fucking Swiftie. You're not gonna fucking catch me like wearing fucking bodysuits and going to fucking I know somebody who's a Swiftie. She's one of my bosses. She like got a whole like Reputation outfit and went to the Eras tour, right? You're never gonna catch me doing that, right? I'm not that kind of girl. I would go to a Kesha concert for sure. I
would
to
go to a Kesha
Slater.
concert.
The new Kesha album's
like a fun
fucking
time.
fire. Here's the funny thing
I'll have to
too.
listen to it.
I'm just being honest about myself and how I feel on everything, right? I don't like a lot of Kesha's old music. There's some songs I really like TikTok, right?
Yeah.
The rest I don't enjoy. Her new album is so fucking good. I almost want to buy a physical copy of it because I want to physically divest from Spotify now that they're like funding the military-industrial complex that's come out. So I'm like, I would literally buy this Kesha album because I fucking love it so much, and I would play this CD until it disintegrates, like I did with Lady Gaga Art Pop. Even though I don't really like Lady Gaga anymore because she's done some shit that I don't want to get into. Right? Actually, I'll get into it. She's been vocally supportive of Israel or in the past, and actually not said anything to be critical of them with the genocide, so she's really fucking lost a lot of face with a lot of people because she wouldn't even say like Free Palestine once or take a stance on it, and she never redacted any of her support for Israel. So it's a whole fucking thing. Yeah. I'm not saying cancel Lady Gaga, but I'm just saying I don't listen to her anymore because it's a very low bar to say Free Palestine uncritically. And you're not even asking them to engage with it as a topic or asking them to talk about the minutia of it or engage with concepts like from the river to the sea, right? Like it's a very easy thing to say stop the genocide and to not do that bare minimum when you have that level of platform, and the platform for other marginalized people like queers before made her lose a lot of face with a lot of people. And that's why I don't listen to her anymore. Not because I don't like her music. I actually just refuse to listen to her new shit just because that's not the energy I'm bringing in my life anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I feel you. Like,
I
there's certain
feel bad
artists.
now.
Don't feel bad. Like real talk.
I love the new Gaga stuff.
Look. I've also talked to my other friends about this. Don't feel bad. I like 20 Taylor Swift songs, and I fucking loathe her as a person, and I will never financially support her, right? You're allowed to enjoy something that's made by somebody who doesn't always necessarily have the best views or the best takes, right? But you also don't necessarily want to like financially support them, and if they're doing really active harm like J.K. Rowling, financially divesting from that person would have made her not have the power that she had to take away trans rights in the UK because she was the one who funded that legislation and pushed it through, right? So like there's knock-on effects, right? And like a lot of people tried to warn people about Harry Potter. We weren't saying that you couldn't read your old books and like hug your old plushies, but we were begging people to financially divest from this woman and stop giving her your fucking money, and they didn't listen, and next thing you know, it resulted in a whole bunch of trans people in the UK losing healthcare, right?
Yeah.
That's how it fucking goes, right? So like, I'm not saying don't read your old Harry Potter books.
That's really what it comes down to, is just stop the money, and that's where we came down to too. Because like we're of course we're Harry Potter kids. I wouldn't be here without Harry Potter, right? That introduced me to magic.
Borrowed from a library. That's not going to fund her at all,
right?
Like, I just don't read the new shit, right?
Or a thrift store.
Like don't take the new shit out, or like even secondhand sales give the author nothing, right? Like shit like that. Don't be going out there to the Potter store buying your Birdie Bots every flavored beans because you got to have one every fucking week because you're that into it. Yeah, that's a problem if you're that kind of person. Just saying.
Yeah, like sometimes like when we're in line, like at Five Below, I'm like in the candy section. That's where you see all the Harry Potter branded, like the chocolate frogs and stuff. And I've been curious, like in the past, I think before a lot of this J.K. Rowling stuff blew up, like we would try them. The candy is actually not that good. It's really not that good. So I can tell you this, it's not worth buying because it's not that good. It's really
the only thing I ever wanted to try was butterbeer, and I don't even know if they actually made that IRL.
We made so I
you can make your own with butterscotch chips and milk. We just use milk and butterscotch chips, right?
There's a ton of
flavors
different
are
recipes
butterscotch
out there.
and caramel, so fuck me up, daddy butterscotch, please.
I know. When I read those books, I was like, I want a butterbeer so bad. That's and you can make your own.
I was like, give me a fucking butterbeer, god damn it.
I think at Universal, I'm pretty sure they sell it bottled, and I think we also bought it somewhere.
Dog shit too.
It was like an off-brand version. It was like an off-brand version of that. See, that's where my moral conundrum comes in, is something like Universal, right? Because there's an inner child part of me that has never been to Disney World and really wants to go, right? And there's an inner child part of me that really wants to see Universal and walk down Diagon Alley and, see this whole Harry Potter experience. And then there is an adult in me that is like, I don't want to give that bitch any more fucking money.
Yep. It's a matter of harm reduction. It's all it is, right?
Yeah.
Like, for example, I don't actually really like anybody who's problematic, so I kind of have difficulties with this, because, like, I straight up cut Lady Gaga out of my life for her not saying Free Palestine.
Well, I will,
which is like a fucking trip over it level bar,
Manson,
right?
Though. Manson, I now have a visceral reaction.
Yeah, I used to love his music, and I listen to it now, and I'm like, you're just such a shit person, though. Or, like, there's a bunch of shit
Yeah.
like that, right?
Scoop.
So like letting yourself have that visceral reaction is good and that's healthy and that's just like society progressing, right? But
Now,
also if you
I
do truly like love
play,
Madonna and Madonna is problematic, you can still enjoy some Madonna. Just try not to fund her if she's like contributing to genocide. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, but here is my moral question. I guess I have to figure this one out. So Hogwarts, whatever the fucking game was,
Hogwarts
RPG,
Legacy.
Hogwarts Legacy, that is available on PlayStation. Like if you have the premium membership or whatever, it's included and you can
Yeah.
play it.
Frick.
Does that give her money?
Yes.
Damn it.
So here's the fun fact. The money is going to go to her either way because they
Right.
don't get money based on downloads. They get money on the deal. What you can do, though, is not download Hogwarts Legacy in protest, and they'll see how poor that did, and they'll never pick up any of her products again. Boycott works.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. They already added it for free to that. Because
Yeah, it's for
not
But if
free.
you don't,
good.
but if you don't add it to your library, you don't download it and you don't play
Yeah.
it. But you gotta understand, they watch every single metric of every single number that you do. If you download a game, they'll pay attention to how many times you downloaded it. They'll pay attention to how many times you uninstalled it. They'll pay attention to how many times you reinstalled it. They'll pay attention to the
I
amount
know
of time you
that.
played the game for, and they'll pay attention to the amount of time you left the game on in the menus for. Everything.
So even if I download it or put it in my library, it still funnels money to her in some way. Yeah, that's basically all. I just wanted to kind
I
of.
figured.
I figured it would.
Regardless, but not downloading it as a protest vote will stop it from happening in the future when she inevitably makes another product.
I wish you were all a fly on the wall to see the moral conundrum that we had just on our couch. We were like, oh, but. Like, because that's what I always dreamed of as a kid. I'd be like, this would be so cool, like as a video game, you know, like to experience this world as this large scale video game. And lo and behold, in my lifetime, we finally have it, and I'm like, but it's evil to support it. Ugh, awful. This morality bullshit is bullshittery.
No, morality is great. It's just the fact that our world's so twisted. Honestly, we live in a shadow world where we're all constantly being tested, is what it is.
Actually, Kai just dropped the mother of all butterbeer recipes in the chat. So Kai says,
okay.
So not your father's root beer, butterscotch schnapps, minimum. Oh, and then you also like to add a little Dr. McGillicuddy's root beer liquor, rum chata, or Bailey's. Well, I know where we're going after this. We're going over Kai's for some butter beers. So hope you have all that ready. That
you know
amazing.
What we should absolutely do? So remember how we're making Witches Betwixt products and shit? Y'all should try and make a Witches Betwixt butterbeer brand and sell it, because you wanted to do the whole cafe thing, right?
Right.
Imagine making your own like magical potion brew pops, where like you put magic over it by like putting spells and like the right ingredient selection with like making the recipe, but you're
really
like
is the plan,
actually making like magic fucking butterbeer that might be infused by the magic of the sun, right? Shit like that.
That's kind of the plan. For what we had
when we have the shop.
Yeah.
I want to be a barista. I am that person that I would be very happy to be a barista for the rest of my life. I love coffee. I love serving people. I really do. I like making people happy.
People, but not as a barista.
Yeah, that too.
Look, I'm a Barbie doll, okay? I am the aesthetic you think I am. I love going on dates. I love flirting. I love being promiscuous. I love wearing outfits much more revealing than this. When I'm not on a stream, but just in public. Like, I have like a little bikini PVC that's just like 2 triangles here, and then like the straps are clear, so it doesn't have straps with it, and I only wear a skirt with it, and I'm like, girl, I love this so much, I'm gonna find a pink PVC mini skirt that matches with it, and I'm getting into my mini skirt era, because like I was wearing a tube dress, which I normally don't because they're much more form-fitting. I'm telling y'all, this one cuts off right here, like an inch above the panty line. So like if I bend over, you can see my panties on my ass. I loved it, and I got so many fucking compliments. And I'm like, okay, well, I shouldn't be afraid to show my ass now because people fucking like this. So now I'm like actually doing like what I've always wanted to do, which is like tube tops, tank tops and bikini tops with like skirts, and I am
I'm
thriving. I'm
sensing.
literally planning on purging my wardrobe of as much black colors as I can, because with the blonde hair, light colors finally work on me. Red lipstick still looks amazing, and it'll always look amazing because it is like spot classic with my skin color and stuff, and the aesthetic works with it. But I'm purging as much of my dark colors as I can, and making it so I only have like the Barbie bimbo wardrobe, and I can't wear anything else because I don't want to wear anything else, and it's fucking wasted wardrobe space at this point. So like, you're not going to catch me doing anything else, because all of that shit I really wanted to do, I'm just finally doing, and I'm thriving. And also, the best part is the universe rewards you when you stop holding yourself back from what you wanted, right? Like,
Yes.
opportunities are just like popping up. I'm getting more work. There's less restrictions. Like, usually what's in your way is yourself, and you have to fight the stream of life until you learn that you can't fight it forever, and you have to go a certain degrees, right? So like, one other last example, my stepmom is now kind of building a relationship with me because I look like way more a stereotypical what you'd expect like a cis woman to look like, right? I'm like a blonde Barbie girl, and she loves it and thinks it's like great, and she actually like wants to talk to me about fashion and shit now, and we're like building like a relationship, and I can like get advice, and it's actually very fulfilling for me, because not that like I had to be a Barbie girl for her to want to like have a relationship with me, but like my birth mother is, I mean, my mother is a very spiritual person, but she's not very feminine. Honestly, real talk, if she's from our generation and she grew up with the gender theory we did, she'd be completely fucking non-binary, maybe dyke, maybe bisexual. She does not move and act like a straight cis woman, and if she was not from this generation, she would not be, for a fucking fact. I know it. My stepmom is very much a straight white cis woman, but she also really loves fashion and a lot of like girly shit that I actually also really like. So like, we've actually really connected over like wanting to get our nails done and going to the salon, like, and she's like, we should do like spa days. I'm like, oh my god, I love it, because like my mom won't do that, right? So I actually like have a stepmom now, and she did something which was so considerate and sweet. She's like, so if you're wearing heels, because like I was saying, I'm starting to wear more heels, right? She's like, make sure to stand like a woman. And she was so polite about this. She corrected herself. She's like, and just to be clear, I'm not saying this because you're not a woman. I tell my own daughter Tiffany like this, stand up like a woman, right? Because she doesn't. She slouches. But she's like telling me how to have like good posture in heels. She's like, make sure you stand up with your back straight like this, almost like you're trying to pop your tits out. Not because you're trying to pop your tits out, but that is like the proper posture, and like if you slouch, it doesn't look that good. So like, she's giving me advice on how to act and look femme, which is actually what I fucking longed for with my mother. So now I'm building a relationship with my stepmom, who I used to fucking hate because she's very small-minded and kind of unintelligent, but she does have these things that she overlaps with me right now that we've meshed like a fucking glove on, and I'm not going to waste that opportunity to not get advice on something that's going to better me, because I do want to look and have a more feminine posture shit like that, because I was never taught that by my mom. That's why I struggled so fucking much, right? And finally, like, I have somebody I can learn that from and do that with, while also being able to talk like spirituality with my mom. And forever, I just fucking hated my stepmom. I mean, reasonably, she has said a lot and done a lot of stupid shit in the past, but like,
So
I'm still
it's
not gonna give up
generally
the chance to have a
difficult.
relationship with her.
It's generally difficult to get used to a step parent. You know, it's the
It
nature
is.
of the beast.
It's fucking horrible. It took I met her when I was 15,
Ooh, that's
so
a delicate age.
21 years. 21 years.
Yeah,
Maybe actually younger.
15 is wild for a young trans girl. 15 is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I didn't come out until I was 25, but like, yeah,
Yeah,
an
same.
egg trans girl who knew she was trans, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a whole thing. You can only fight the waves of life for so long, and just be who you are if it's not gonna hurt anybody, right? Like, I shouldn't care if people think that I'm a basic white bimbo Barbie, because I like being a Barbie and I like being a bimbo. I don't care if they think that I'm basic. I don't care if they know like my fucking mixed racial background or whatever. They don't
It's a
have
good
to know the
filter.
entirety of me as a person. And it's funny because then I'm always free to surprise them, right? Like,
Yes, exactly.
just because you look a certain way doesn't mean you're anything. Like, I don't look like I'm jacked until I like flex and people are like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, that's what's
Yeah,
up,
Barbie's
right?
gonna kick your
So
ass, motherfucker.
Barbie will rip your fucking head off. There's a funny thing too. A guy was being a creep or like saying some stuff, and my friend, like my friends were worried, and I was like, okay, little flex. I'm so strong, I could physically pick this man up and swing him over my head. Do not worry. I throw bags of trash that are 110 pounds by grabbing it, doing either a half circle toss or a not full circle, but a 3/4 circle. If like when we're throwing garbage into dumpsters at film, if like sometimes you get really fucking insanely heavy ones, like say craft services is doing a food shot, because when you don't, or not craft services, it's props. You don't necessarily know this, but there's a shit ton of prop food that gets used in film. You don't have to make it fresh for each shot, and then it's our job to throw it out. And sometimes like they'll overfill a bag of rice, and that shit's like 100 fucking pounds and shit, and you have to like triple bag it. And then I'm like doing like a Herculean, like, and depending on how high it is, like if it's a regular dumpster, I don't need to do a crazy throw. But if it's the tall dumpster,
the tall ones,
girl, I will fucking double spin to build up enough momentum before I toss this thing up in the air on a fucking 45-degree arc to throw it.
Feeling like
so
an anime character.
When I say that I can throw your average person, it is a fucking science fact. I have done it.
We'll have like some wrestling matches. That'll be like some premium content.
I will just pick you up like this and fucking carry you off. Maybe not.
We'll have Sophia pick me up and like throw me over like a something.
Fun fact, I absolutely
or Sophia and Scott, you'll wrestle.
I can pick up somebody with one hand with the correct posture up to 200, maybe like 250 pounds. And all I have to do is grab you like this with the front part of my arm, pull you into my torso here, crouch down and lift. And between my torso standing up like that and my arm, I can literally pull you up with one fucking arm and my torso strength. The average person. Wow. So that scares people when I pick them up with one arm and they're like, okay. So
Barbie got guns.
Barbie gonna kick your ass. Unless you're nice, in which case I have no reason to quarrel with you, because queers are peace-loving people. But honestly, it is also in that divine mother goddess archetype. Do not
there will be retribution.
With the goddess, because we are like Terra, the mother bear, and we will tear your fucking head off.
I like
That's all I have to say for the episode.
That really is a beautiful sentiment to kind of exit on, because I really agree wholeheartedly, and I think that's probably where my Aries anger and like sense of justice like comes from, is this idea of like we are a peaceful people at the core. We really just want to do our thing and just hang out and chill and, you know, live life and experience life. But don't fuck with us though.
I saw the funniest fucking Twitter clip ever, and it was a Uber driver who is a straight black cis man who had moved from the Caribbean, and it was Pride Month, and he was being an ally in a very aggressive and hilarious way that everybody was loving. And the guy clipped it, listening to it like on a video, and he's like, "I have no problem with you gays. You are peace-loving people. What I have a problem with are those bombaclot straight men." And he said it with like so much disdain, like straight men. And I'm like, he gets it. And he's like, you queers are peace-loving people. Like, we don't really cause problems in Lyft. Lyft drivers know what's up. Your average Lyft driver has had more exposure to more people from more demographics than anybody else. That's why I have conversations with them.
True, yeah.
The guy from last night, I told him my traffic's so bad, and he's like, wow, you completely understand it. And he drives more than I do, right? So, yeah, it's wild.
Yeah. So I know we've been going on for a while, but it was a good episode. Hopefully the next time we gather, we'll be able to have Scott with us. But I just wanted to thank everyone for hanging out in the chat with us today. I love that butterbeer recipe, and I feel like I've screenshotted it into my brain, and I think I want that all the time.
Screenshot it so you don't lose it. Like, actually, like, just write it down.
I might do that right now.
Write it down and appropriate it and adjust it slightly with their approval, and make it the Witches Betwixt brand one, and cut them some royalties or something once we start selling our own drinks.
Let's collab. All right, I'll reach out to you if I'm seriously considering that. But for right now, if you do want to support us, or if you do want to spread the word, you can support us on Ko-fi to help us with financial costs of like podcasts and website hosting and whatnot. We do have 3 tiers. The coolest tier is the Hail Satan tier, and that's $6.66 a month. And what that gets you is the ability to hail whatever it is you like. Your brand, your friend, whatever, just a message or sentiment. We do have a subscriber to that tier. That is Tink. And Tink always wants us to remember Free Palestine. Free Palestine. All right. With that, we are going to head out of here, and hopefully we'll see everyone soon.